What's happening, folks? How you doing? Welcome back to another day in this Minecraft world. Today we are going to be building a slime farm. That's going to be super fun. But before we do that, I want to show you that thing right behind me that we built in the last video. I did some updates. If you didn't see that video, I highly recommend it. But if you did see it, you remember that over here we built this hut with a lever with beds that allows the villagers to see the beds and make more villagers. And water brings them down and over here. So I had the bubble column bringing them up, and there was this big wooden thing right here. It kind of looked a little bit ugly, especially from all the way back here at the shore. So I got rid of that. I flattened out this whole thing here, put a gate so we can easily get in. And what I did was, very simply, the only thing that happens now is the water flows, makes a bend right there, and it comes this way, ends, and then the villagers make their way up here by themselves to get to the beds. They can come up and down here as they please, but they can't go anywhere. They can't get over any fences or anything like that. Right now they're playing on the barbecue grill, so I don't know what's wrong with them, but apparently playing on a barbecue grill is fun. And then there's this guy, he's a little special. So that's the update on the villager farm. I just wanted to show you guys that and see how much cleaner it looks than it did in the last video. So today we need to get down into the mine, and we need to figure out which one of those chunks down there was the slime farm. In a previous video when I was down there doing the mining, I mentioned that a slime started hopping around. So what I need are a bunch of supplies. First, we need digging tools. I've got both of my pickaxes, my silk touch one and my non-silk touch one. I have a ton of oak fences. What we're going to be doing with these fences is once it's all cleared out down there, we're going to be using these to draw out a perimeter around all of the chunks that we're going to clear out. So when slimes form, they won't be able to jump over the fences, and we'll be able to know which one of those chunks is the slime chunk when we get down there. I'm going to get some gates as well, so that way we can come in and out of them, and we don't have to break them to get through. Okay, so 10 oak fence gates, that should be plenty. And I've also got us a bed, a crafting table, some chests to put stuff in, a stone cutter. These staircases can go back, but I did a little bit of cleaning up here too. I made a little path and some stairs to get up to those guys. So those can go into the wood chest. And now we're ready to go down into the mine. So here we are in this room I dug out to clean things up. This is at the end of where I was mining. If we look at our Y level, we are Y level 12. Slimes will spawn below Y level 40, I believe it is. So we are plenty low enough to do that. So now what we need to do is we need to start clearing some of this stuff out. I need to clear out, I'm going to do is F3 and G. That will show us our chunk borders, and we can go ahead and clear them out. I'm going to do a 4x4. I saw the guys hopping around here. I already put one marker there and a marker there, so I don't know if it was this chunk or that chunk, but I do know that sometimes they group together, so I'm going to dig out this chunk. Basically, I'm going to dig out a 2x3 chunk area. So this chunk, another chunk over there, and then 3 along this way. So that's going to take a little while. I really wish I had a beacon, but we haven't gotten that far in the nether yet. We don't have any wither skeleton skulls to summon a wither. So I'm going to start getting going. I'm starting with my silk touch pickaxe because all of this stone, I'm going to want to use a lot of it for stone bricks. And if you use a silk touch pickaxe, you get a stone block versus a non-silk touch, you get a cobblestone block. So silk touch it is. I have been doing a lot of trading with the villager with the rotten flesh from the zombie farm, so we should be able to afford mending on this, but before it breaks. So we're going to go ahead and start ripping this apart, and I'll get back to you when it's all cleared out. Alright, I think the hard part is over. I decided to go over an additional chunk. So right here, this is the one chunk that I marked out. So I went one chunk back because I had this opened up, so I don't know if it was this chunk, or this chunk, or maybe even one of these two. So I came back one, and I decided I'm going to go one this way, and then another one this way. So I am now 3 chunks wide. And over here, this was all solid. So now I have all of this to do. I'm going to go probably 3 chunks that way, but it shouldn't take as long because I've got all of these mine shafts here. So if you take a look at the durability on the pickaxe, it's kind of weak. So I'm gonna go ahead up and I'm going to pay the villager for mending, get that on there, and then mend it up. I think I'll make a trip to the zombie farm to get that mended up, and then it should be fine after that. All the resources that we're gathering should be enough to keep it going. Check it out, folks. We got slime spawning. I went up to go ahead to mend up my pickaxe again, and when I came back, there was one slime over there. So now I'm going around and I'm cutting one past all of the chunks, and I look over and there's a couple of slimes over there already. So I don't know which chunk they came from, but that's what this is all about. We're gonna clear this out, border everything off with fences, and then we can figure out which ones are spawning the slimes. Alright folks, here's what we got. You can see I still got the chunk borders turned on, and I've got all these fences here. I dug out it's a 3x3 chunk area, and all the borders are lined with fences, and some of them have fence gates. They have 2 torches here to let me know that there's a gate there, and this is basically it. What I did is, see, here's the chunk border. I went one out so that way I could surround the entire area and I'm not taking up one space inside the chunk. As far as borders are concerned, it doesn't really matter which side of the border you do it on, this side or that side. You can see this one here. This one's on this side of the border, this one's on that side, so that doesn't really matter. What really matters is that the areas are marked off. Everything is lit up bright enough so that no mobs could spawn other than the slimes. You could see that when they were spawning earlier. And after you've got all this set up, you want to go 25. You want to put 25 blocks between you and like the closest chunk. So this is the closest chunk. So I have the thing here. So what I did was there's a gate here, and then we come down this way, and I counted 25 blocks. I made this wooden frame right here. So crossing this puts me 25 blocks away from the closest chunk. So we pretty much just sit here and wait, and every once in a while we go and we check and see if any slimes have spawned. If any have spawned, then we know that there is a slime chunk. So I'm going to keep doing this. Over there, we definitely have a slime chunk. Now I'll admit, I did find this out earlier, but I had to kill the slime and I wanted to show you guys that this was definitely a slime chunk. I marked it right here so that way we know that that's a slime chunk. 57, 150. Okay, so this right here, this is our chunk. So where are we in relation? Okay, yeah, I think this would be perfect. We'll be able to come through right there to get to here if we ever need slime. Oh boy, folks. We have 2 slime chunks. We have one here and one right next to it. We could get a really, really big slime farm going. Normally it would have been just this one, but I think we're going to stretch it to 2. I think that would be super cool. So we are going to be following a build guide by Shulkercraft. It seems like a very simple farm to build, and we're going to make it too long. So that's going to be cool. So what we need to do now is, after we clear these guys out, we need to clear out these 2 chunks from Y level 6 to 24. So we still have a lot more digging to do. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need a perimeter that is 3 spaces wider than the block itself. So what I did was on the 4th block, 1, 2, 3 spaces, 4th block, I made a perimeter all around both of the chunks. I go all the way back here into this wall here. So now what we need to do is we need to clear out this entire area from levels Y6 all the way up to Y24. So I'm going to tunnel up to 24 and work my way down because I figured, that'd probably be the easiest way to do it. So this is probably going to take quite a while. I'm going to go ahead and dig all the way up to level Y24 and then dig my way back down. Figured that'd be easiest. So I'm going to go and do that when I reach Y6. I'll bring it back on and let you see what we got. Well, folks, here it is. Not 1, not 2, but 3 chunks dug out. That took about probably close to 4 hours. I can see why people do this with a beacon. I just wish I had one available. But I made a mistake up there. It was supposed to be this chunk and this chunk. What I did was I dug up, and then I dug a perimeter tunnel 2 deep all the way around, and then I cleared out the inside. Dug down 2, perimeter, cleared out the inside. I must have gotten a little turned around because I did this chunk and that chunk. That chunk is not the slime chunk. This one and this one are. So, I didn't even realize it until I got to this platform here. I got everything down to this level. And I'm starting to get rid of this platform, and I'm following. It's a good thing I put this down, because I was following it along, making sure I'm not missing anything, and I start going past it right here. I'm like, uh-oh, what happened? So I climbed back down, and I checked, and it turns out that I messed up big time, and I kind of wasted an extra hour of my time. So, if you're going to take on this project, make sure you've got time available or a beacon. It would just make things easier. So I don't know what I'm going to do with all of this extra space. I might have to fill it all in or just leave it lit up like this. That, I don't know. I might just cage that in and maybe, I don't know, a fish tank or something, I don't know. Either way, it is late now. I'm tired and I'm hungry, so I'm going to order some dinner and then I'm going to go to bed. And tomorrow, we're going to continue this. So, I'll see you tomorrow. Here we are, folks. It's another day, and we're ready to get this thing finished up. Now, last time when I left you off, we were at this level right here. Now, I forgot you had to clear out from level 6 to 24. So, target block 6, target block 26. So, we're all cleared out for these 2 chunks. I did not clear out for that one. I still don't know what I'm going to do with all this extra space. Over there's another slime chunk, so I gotta do something about that to keep the spawns down. Went and moved everything up here, so that way we can work with everything. I gotta get some ladders to put some down here. But one of the things, I was looking ahead in the video, and we're gonna need some rails. I don't have any rails, and the only place I know that there are rails is in a mine shaft, and the only mine shaft I know about is over at the zombie farm. But that's okay. If we look at the durability on this pickaxe, we are due for some fixing up again, so we gotta go over there and mend that up again anyway. So I'm gonna go over there, I'm gonna mend this up, and I'm gonna collect some rails, and then we're gonna continue. People, have I got some stuff to show you. Look at that, we got us a new friend. Well, I spent the past, probably about a good 4 hours or so gathering up all the necessary supplies to continue on what we're doing. See up there, we've got some pumpkins. We've got some pumpkins growing now. Those are for iron golems, because we're going to need to summon some of them to draw the slimes. Now, I was over here. I needed a lot of wood. I was over here harvesting the trees in this little grove that I made, and I hear a buzzing sound. I come around, and this one, there's a beehive right here. That is awesome. Now we have a source of honey, and we can move these easily. I was planning on getting some. I know there's a couple over there, but now we don't have to. And not only that, there's a second one over there on that tree. That's so cool. We have 2. Another thing I noticed when I was over here was, if we go down here, there's an iron golem down there. I have no idea how he could have got there. We are a considerable distance from the villagers over here to all the way over here, down a hill, and through a thing. The only thing I can think of, I doubt this is what happened, but when I took the last of the villagers from the village over there, there was an iron golem lumbering around. Maybe he made his way over here to the villagers that summoned him. I don't know if it works like that or not, but I know he's here. There you go, buddy. Now you're all fixed up. We're going to have to do something about that. We got to do something about him. The next thing involves the villagers themselves. I came over here to get mending. I needed to put mending on something. However, during that last raid, I must have lost our mending villager, and he wanted, I believe it was 34 emeralds for mending. So I was using all of the rotten flesh from the zombie spawner over there to trade with this guy for emeralds so I can get mending from this guy. But since we lost him, I had to make a new one. Look at this. Mending. 14 emeralds and a book. That is amazing. I have a bunch of mending books in one of these chests. So that's another cool thing that happened. Another cool thing is I was in the nether and I was hunting down magma blocks. We need magma blocks for this project, lots of them. And I'm just collecting them, you know, minding my own business. And check it out, we found an ancient debris under one of them. That's cool. First ancient debris of the world. We're gonna have to get back into the nether and collect more. I got kind of tired of going down through the mine and then going through a tunnel to get there. So just as a temporary thing, I put up this dirt bridge right here, just so we can get over there real quickly. And there's a drop hole over here and a bubble column to bring us back up if we need to. This thing, this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful iron farm came in handy so well. I must have gone through at least 10 stacks of iron in this process. Like, look at that chest. And this one here, see how empty this one is? I love this because it is right here and it's always active. This chest, I condensed everything down into blocks, which is another good thing because we need iron blocks down there to summon the golem. So I believe that that is all the cool stuff to happen. Oh, see over here we have a bubble column to get back up and a drop column here. Now this is the meat and potatoes of the continuation of this video. Now this is the meat and potatoes of the rest of this video. Like I said, it probably took me about 4 hours to collect what is in these two chests here. This one, I collected all this blackstone and basalt from in the nether. I want to use blackstone for a lot of the platforms, and I have a lot of glass. We're not going to be making this very pretty this time, because the vision that I have uses 2 different shades of green glass, and we don't have that yet. So once we have that, we can come back and make this thing look pretty. But for now, we're just going to leave it as is with bare walls. This right here is an overflow side. These are extra minecarts that I made, extra rails, and some extra magma blocks. Oh, the rails! Let me tell you about the rails. So we need rails for this, hence the minecarts. So the only place that I know of that has an abandoned mine shaft is over by the zombie farm. So I went down in there and I was rummaging around, looking for some, just picking up rails. I found a few chests in there. We got a couple name tags and things. But that's not the thing that I wanted to tell you about. The thing I wanted to tell you about are the spawners. I found 2 spider spawners in very, very close proximity to each other. So between cuts, I'm going to go over there and I'm actually going to measure. And I'm going to see if I'm probably just going to clear the blocks from in between the 2, just to see if I can get them both active at the same time. If that's the case, then we can build a really, really nice experience spawner. The zombie spawner will be if we need rotten flesh. But the spider spawner, that's the one where we're going to get all of our levels from. So that'll be a whole nother video in and of itself. This chest here, this is where most of the stuff is. Look at this, folks. Hopper minecarts for days. This is where the majority of the iron went to. I believe it's like 3 or 5 iron per hopper. Then there's iron per minecart. That was a lot of iron. Thank goodness for the iron farm. We have 56 hoppers, 24 chests, 48 rails, and 3 stacks of magma blocks. Now the video that I'm following is going to be linked in the description. The channel is Shulkercraft. He makes a lot of really good videos and some cool farms. You should definitely go check him out if you haven't seen him yet. The items list, I doubled it, because in his video, he's only showing a slime farm for 1 chunk, and we're doing it for 2. So I had to double everything on his list. So right here where it's 24 chests, his list is 12. Half this amount of magma blocks, half these hopper minecarts, and so on and so on. So now we have this giant thing here, and this right here, let me tell you about that. The way he explains it in the beginning of the build is you have to come over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks, and then 8 and 9, you gotta put temporary blocks. Now this is also down below. I'm just putting these here just as a visual so when I get down here and get rid of these guys. But these 2 blocks are the center of the chunk. I was getting super confused because of this extra 3. Remember I said you had to clear out 3 extra blocks past the chunk? Well, that was just for lengthwise. This way should be level, should be straight with the chunk. So these extra 3 down here and all the way up are completely unnecessary. So I'm actually gonna block this off. So that's where we are at now. We are working on getting everything down here set up. So I'm putting these blocks here as reference so I don't have to count when I'm down there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 8 and 9 get temporary blocks. So as you'll see over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So blocks 8 and 9 from the edge lengthwise is the center of the chunk. Just from those 2 large slime that were bouncing around down here, we got 46 slime balls. So theoretically, all I could really do, would need to do is be up top, and as they spawn, shoot them down like fish in a barrel. But that's not how we roll. We're gonna do this big and extravagant. Okay, so what he's got us doing is right where these 2 blocks are, the 8 and 9 of here, on the inside of the chunk, put 2 temporary blocks and a double chest on top of that. Be rid of the temporary blocks. Two full-size chests with hoppers feeding into them from this chest. And you want to do that on both sides. I'm going to do it at all 4. Now from behind, you want to add 9 hoppers on this level going into the chest. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So you should have 12 hoppers just like this. Now we need to get our hopper minecarts on our rails, and we're gonna put a row of blocks on the ends here. So I would highly recommend that you use the block that you're planning on using. I'm planning on using mostly black stone bricks, so that's what I'm putting here. Now on each one of these rails, you want 4 hopper minecarts. Just like that. You need 4 for each one. Here we go, 12 hopper minecarts. Can you see how this is starting to get expensive? Now don't take these off. If you take these off, then they're going to come flying off. That's why I say use the blocks that you're going to use now. Don't replace them later. So now you have to repeat that for all of your collection systems. And when you're all done, this is what you should have, only you should have 2 of them, not 4 like I have. Now we can take our magma blocks, and we want a 3 by 16 row of these right over top of everything. Should look like that, but you should have, if you're doing one chunk, you'll have a wall here and a wall here. See, this is where those extra 3 blocks that I cut off were that weren't actually needed. So you want this on both sides. And now this is how we should be looking, only 2. This is where all of the water is going to go, and all of the slimes are going to end up bouncing onto here. And then they're going to burn up, and then the hopper minecart's going to pick them up and deposit everything all into the chests. Now we can go ahead and start building our first spawn platform. What you want is you can use any building block you want, and you want it 1 up on top of that. What I have decided that I'm going to do for mine is I'm going to use the stone brick. I'm going to make a perimeter of this, kind of like a frame, I guess you could say. And then the rest I'm going to use polished blackstone brick slabs. And I'm going to put them on the top of this. If you put it on the bottom like that, then you have half a brick that's not being used and nothing will spawn on it. But I don't feel like going back into the nether just so I can get a whole bunch of full blocks. So I'm going to do it this way, and I think it would look really cool with a perimeter of this and then the blackstone in the middle. And you on the outside, you definitely want a full block because water's going to go in here. If you put a half a block on here, on the top, then the water's just going to spill out through the bottom here. So make sure it's a full block going all the way around, and then you can fill the rest in with slabs if you'd like. Now, when you are finished, this is what it should look like. You should have from both sides all the way over and all the way across. Now, you do want to make sure that you leave yourself a way up. Down there, there's a ladder that leads up. And you also want to make sure that you light this up really good, because as soon as I started getting over there, I ran out of blocks, and I came back up, and there was a creeper right here. I almost blew everything up. So mobs are going to start spawning on this really fast. So you want to come up here and light it up as you go, maybe even just lay your stuff down from the top, as opposed from the bottom like I did. In the video, he does put up a picture of what he recommends, so that's pretty much what I followed. Everything is nice and even, and you can clearly see the slimes spawn nicely on here. Now, I don't know what to do about the bottom underneath yet, because I can hear slime spawning. I might have to just go down there and half slab it, or torch the living snot out of it, so there's nowhere for the slimes to spawn. Next is our fence gates. You want to leave a 6-block gap from the wall. So from here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So right here on number 7. So you can walk on these things, you just have to crouch. If you crouch, you'll be just fine. Now again, since I'm doing 2, I don't have a wall here to count from. However, in the video it's 1, 2 spaces in the middle, and then fence gates. So it should line up right there, right where your collection chests are. I want to make sure to open them up. Then over here, that you want to start pouring your water. You're going to put 2 buckets. Now you have an infinite source here, so you can go ahead and refill. Now you're going to want to do that on this side also, so I honestly don't know what I'm going to do. So, I have to figure this out. Okay, I figured it out. You can just dump some water right here, and they both flow towards both directions, which is perfect. So it's 1 here. 1 there. So now when the slimes bounce this way, they'll fall into the water and they'll burn up, and everything will fall down here and everything will get collected. Alright folks, here's what's happened in the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours. What I have done is I went and I spent some more time in the nether, and I got some more blackstone, made some more slabs. Over here, I went and filled in this side, as you know, 3 deep, as if it was never even dug out. Did the same thing on this side. I went and walled up all the way up to here. Did the same thing over there. You can hear there's a lot of slime spawning down there. And I also built this staircase going all the way up, because we're going to be putting more of these layers in. And then over here is where the iron golem are going to go. And that, folks, is platform number 2. Now you can obviously make this as tall as you want. That's about as high as you can go. I believe this is set up for 4 platforms altogether. I'm going to keep going until I run out of blackstone. It looks like I might be able to get 1 more layer out of this, because I just don't feel like going back to the nether, hunting down more blackstone. So I think 1 more layer, and then I'll be good for layers. Alright, I think I'm finally finished. We want a total of 3 layers. You see, 1, 2, 3. Now we can start placing in our golems. I'm going to start from the top and work my way down. These platforms here, these are only temporary. These are here so that I can reach the wall easier and place our golems. And then once I'm done, I'll back away and remove it and move on to the next one. So I am actually going to start at the bottom instead of the top, like I said, just because it seems like it'd be easier place to start. So what it says in the video is, we'll get rid of that, you need a 2-block gap from the magma blocks. So 1, 2, these 2 you need. 1 block above the fence gates, skip that one. So you're gonna need these 2. This is where the golem is going to be, but you also need a 3rd one so that way you can get in there. You want to dig this out 3 by 3, 2 deep. Like that. Now you can go ahead and place the golem, which is 1, 2 there, there, and then you need a carved pumpkin on the top, and you have an iron golem. Now we need to push the golem over into these 2 blocks here. Get our builder blocks ready, and we need the golem. Oh, nope, not. We don't need him to fall in. We need him over in these 2. So if you could go over there, please, that would be helpful. Oh, this is going to be a pain in the butt, isn't it? There we go. So now we have him in the center blocks. We need to make sure that he stays towards the front. Now he's in there. Now we need to make sure that he doesn't fall out by accident. Get back. There, now he can't fall out, and we want to make sure that we have, like that. Like that. Now when we get up to the next layer, we can close that top off, so that way it's just his eyes that are showing. And we need to do that for all of them. So, remove temporary blocks. Just like that, move on to the next one. Alright, that was more of a pain than it looks. But we got him in, and I was only able to fit 2 per corner. So there's 2 here, 2 here, 2, and 2. I would have thought that there'd be, you know, 1 for each level, but I guess not. Maybe they can, each level they can still see them, because this guy you can see here, maybe I should take some of these bottom fences out. But you can still see the heads from up here, and this one from up there. So, if anything, then it would maybe be these 2 that would be the most productive. But, either way, all the golem are in. This was an incredible amount of work, and we're not even finished yet. I still have to come in here and do some fine detailing, but like I said, I need the 2 different shades of green for the glass that I want to do. I want to do an entire enclosure, and then some of this is underneath of that lake that's up there. So I was thinking maybe we can clear out all the way up to there, and then replace all of the blocks in that lake with glass. So that way, the lake is still there. It's just glass. You can see through it. You can see all the way down into the farm. I thought that'd be pretty cool. Now, I'm not completely sure why. It doesn't say in the video, but down here, bottom layer here, we keep getting spawns in here, and I can't figure out why. So I'm going to clear that out, and I'm going to half slab the entire floor, so that way we don't get spawns in there. But look at this. We're already getting spawns here on the bottom level. So I guess I was wrong. You can still see them. This is cool. And they're falling in, and we're getting our slimes. Nothing on second level. Nothing on third level. Well, there might have been. They might have fallen down. I'm going to go down and set up the bottom level so we can't get any more spawns down there. Be back in a bit. Okay, folks, check this out. It's all cleaned up. I half slabbed the entire floor. We got some lanterns hung up nice and evenly. It's kind of dark in the middle, but we shouldn't have any spawns in here because they're bottom slabs. So there shouldn't be any reason for anything to spawn in here. Plus, like I said, we're not finished yet. When I get the glass that I want to come back in here, and I want to do something in the middle here. Like I want to maybe put like a, I don't know, some sort of like a fountain or something, or a pond or something like that down here, with some sea lanterns or something like that, just to light it up and, you know, bring some light in the center of it. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do the AFK. I have emptied out the chests of, you know, everything that I have dropped and all of the other slimes that have dropped in here in the meantime. So you need to be at least 25 blocks away in order for the slimes to spawn. So I'm going to, I don't know, I'll find somewhere to go. I'll probably just go down one of the hallways I'll probably just go down towards mine and hang out there for a bit. I'm going to empty this back out, and then I'll see you guys in an hour. Alright, folks, 1 hour has elapsed. Let's go find out. What I did was I just came down here. Remember the wooden doorway I made? That's how far I went. Let's go see what happened. Anything good? Come on, big slime, big slime. 19, okay. 60, almost a full stack there. Okay, 15 and some blocks. Curious where those blocks came from. 9, 34, not bad, not bad. Okay, we're gonna do this. Okay, not bad. 3 stacks plus 10 in an hour. That is pretty cool. That is awesome. I'm totally happy with that. Whenever we need slime balls, it will not be a problem anymore. So this is really, really cool. Let's go up. Ooh, I hope it's daytime. Yep, it's daytime. So now, whenever I'm down there, all I need... Uh-oh, look at this. Okay, so Endermen have been here. So now slime is not going to be a problem at all. And this here, this bothers me. That is, I am not okay with that. This is evidence of creeper explosions. I'm going to guess that iron golem are getting on the ground, and when they go to attack a creeper, the creeper explodes. I thought they weren't supposed to attack creepers. I've never seen one attack a creeper. They usually just wander around. But either way, that is bothersome. But, no matter, we have a fully functioning slime farm now. It's not finished. We still have to decorate it and make it look prettier, but I'm completely satisfied with the results. So, that is the Shulkercraft slime farm. I went and made mine into a double wide, which was an excruciatingly large amount of work. Even if it was a single, it would probably be about the same. It would probably just be half the materials. But either way, in your world, I would highly recommend following the link in the description and following along with that tutorial. Very, very effective. Now, what am I going to do with this grand space? Maybe an underground storage facility? Let me know what you guys think. If anybody has any suggestions for this large area, leave them down in the comment section, and maybe we can figure out what to do with it. So, until the next time, Den out.